crazy.
Isn't this crazy? This is so weird because like we talk via videos, but like talking in person, so weird.
I know it is kind of weird, but it's also kind of like not at the same time. I don't know how to
Like,
explain it. Like it feels kind of like natural, like I would
yeah,
be just FaceTiming a friend. So,
yeah, you're like a friend stranger. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, a friend stranger.
yeah. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, this is Renee DiGiulio. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yes. Um, so she is the author of Voice of Love, which we will absolutely be talking about today. And so we're going to talk about your book and your re-release and your upcoming second one, and try to see if we can get you some more ARC reads because it's a good series, good books. These are very good. So before we even get into the books, though, where did your love for writing start?
So my love for writing started with when I was a teenager. I read this series called the Seven Sleeper series by Gilbert Morris. It's a young adult series, like very young adult, like 12, 13. Um, and I was so sucked into this world that I was like, I can't believe that this author just completely like took my mind and just shoved me into this world with these characters, and it
Hmm.
became so real to me that I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that for readers. So, and then it just kind of the more books I read, the more it kind of grew on that. Like Swiss Family Robinson, I actually got my idea for the Village in the Trees from Swiss Family Robinson. So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, everything just kind of like every book I read just kind of like built on that. So, I started writing when I was about 16, and I just wanted to create worlds where I could escape to, but then I could actually just drag people along with me and have them escape too.
well, and you did. You grabbed me and you dragged me into this beautiful, beautiful world you created with these beautiful characters. Like before we even dive too deeply into the book, just in the beginning pages, she has a glossary, and you're like, yeah, everyone's got that. No, she's got like language, a whole language. Oh, well, snippets of a language, but I mean, it's a language. She has exotic animals. I mean, it's an alien planet, so like they're exotic. And then you have the plants, and like so she says the names of them, which you're gonna read about them, and then she describes exactly like what they are, like what the plants are used for. And I did go back and forth. I kind of enjoyed that. I purposely went back and forth because I really wanted to like immerse myself, and you gave us the perfect tools to do that.
Hmm.
You did your dream. You pulled people in and sucked them into this world.
Yay! Good. Yeah, I mean, I put the glossary there. I kind of went back and forth on that. I'm like, should I do a glossary? Because I know some books don't. But at the end of the day, I was like, I don't want my reader to be confused on what's going on and have them be pulled from the story. I want them to be able just like, okay, what was that again? Go back, take a quick peek, and then go right back to the story because
Mhm.
that's my preference as a reader. Like, I don't want to be sucked from the story, but I do kind of like, I love maps
Yeah,
personally when I'm reading. I love maps. I
right.
will go back and look at the map like 10 million times just because I love it. So,
Yeah, well, and again, like it helps gives you that visual. So like when you have character art and stuff, I love when people have those character art, which she has some character art out there. Because then it does add exactly what the author was thinking into your head. So it's kind of like already putting the pieces together of the movie that's already been playing in your head.
yeah.
Yes, I love it. And you did it. Well, for someone who hasn't read Voice of Love, oh, I haven't even showed it yet. Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible podcast host. Okay, before we go into that, that's the new release one. I was gonna sneak this guy.
Oh, my first edition.
Yes, so
Oh,
if anyone has seen this first edition, it has a new look to it.
hmm.
Oh, stupid. I like the green screen, but anytime I show a book, it just covers it up. So, she did just show it too, though. But it's got a remodel and a re-release, and it just came out with the re-release, just in time to start getting geared up for the second book of the series. So, for someone who hasn't read Voice of Love yet, even just the first one, um, do you have kind of like a blurb or marketing little snippet to to capture them and get them into it?
Um, so I'm terrible with this. So I did kind of write something out. I do have a blurb, but I tried to keep it short on Amazon because, the whole point of Amazon is to like suck people in and grab them really quick. So I did kind of write something for this in particular. So basically, you think Star Wars meets Avatar, like if they both met at a bar, this would be their love child. It's a fade to black alien romance. So I wanted to write a romance that wasn't built on lust, that had something more concrete and substantial, rather than just, oh, page two, we're fated mates and we know it just by looking at each other. I didn't want that. I wanted to create something deeper and more meaningful. So it follows Zamira. She is a galactic investigator, and she has a bounty on her head by the leader of the Silent Order. He's been hunting her for the last year, and she takes this job on a planet, and she's forced to crash land because she's found. So she crashes on this alien planet, and this is where she meets Theseus, who is the chieftain's son. He's heir to his tribe. And their personalities are, he's curious and reserved in nature. She is passionate and she has a genuine zeal for life. She's very genuine. She says it like it is. She's like, she doesn't really keep too much like hidden. And I think that he's never really experienced anyone like that before. So, I mean, he didn't know this, but he captures her because in their tribe, in their culture, they believe that anything falling from the stars is good luck. So he sees her and is like, oh, yes, I can bring her back to my tribe and she's going to bring my tribe good luck and I'm going to be the best leader ever. Um, but he's not prepared for her trying to escape 5 million times. And I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but their personalities just kind of, she's just drawn to his curiosity and he's reserved at the same time, but there's that inner childlike curiosity in him that she just is drawn to, and she's got this zeal spirit that is that he's like, whoa, hi there.
Right.
um so then it's about her, them figuring out, overcoming cultural barriers and language barriers. I did create an alien language in this book. So, they're not able to communicate at first, so they have to figure out, what is she saying? I don't know. What is he saying? I don't know. So they have to figure out how to communicate with each other, which is how they get to know each other and their relationship develops. And then I'm not going to give any more away because you just have to read it to find out. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Oh, that was really good.
thanks.
Yeah. Well, and I think you can kind of say, and I can cut this out if this is giving away too much, but I think you can kind of claim it as like a, oh gosh, what was it? Enemies to lovers, in a
Kind,
sense.
kind of. It's more like forced proximity.
Yeah, you're right.
Um, just because he abducts her
Mhm.
and she's held against her will, and she thinks she's gonna get eaten at first, and he doesn't understand why she won't cooperate. So it's kind of just like I don't know if it's a truly enemies to lovers. I
Mhm.
think it's more of just like a forced proximity type
Yeah.
situation.
Well, that goes into the next one, which is is so hard for me to explain, and other authors have said this too. So, if you had to make this into, or pick a few genres or main genres and or tropes, how would you describe this book and the series?
Well, I did my homework on this. Uh, so it is a sci-fi fantasy, but I think it's more fantasy than sci-fi. Um, there's adventure and romance in there as well, obviously, because that's what we've been talking about. But I think some of the tropes, there's family drama, there's dysfunctional family, there's second chances, fated mates, forced proximity. We've talked a little bit about that. Language barrier, cultural differences. There's also dual point of view. I think that's an
Mm,
important one as well
yeah.
because some readers don't like it and some readers do. Um, and then there's also like space travel, aliens, artificial intelligence, that sort of stuff in my books as well. But that's kind of all like on the smaller scale.
I love necks. I want a neck.
I do too. I love him. I love writing him. So,
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
she means by the AI. Well, the AI, yeah, I mean he's AI basically.
Yeah,
Robot
he's an
model.
android.
Yeah,
He's an android. He just looks like a human.
yeah,
And yeah, he's pretty cool. He's
yeah.
pretty cool.
I love him.
Yeah.
Well, look at you. I need to do my homework in general of like marketing because there's just so many tropes and so many different categories. So like, yeah, you could even throw in like found family for yours, or there's
Yeah.
so many things.
That's what I was looking for last night. Found family. I'm like, what's that family one? What's that family one?
Someone just said it today, so that's how I know. Otherwise, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you to whoever you were.
Right. Well, do you happen to have a favorite quote that you would like to share?
Actually, I do.
Okay.
It's actually said by Visius. It's a little bit later on in the book. But it is amazing things can happen when you believe. I could see her emptiness and loneliness clear as day now. The firelight flickered across her face, and I saw her sadness truly for the first time. Even just a spark can start a fire.
I love that. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one. Good
Mm-hmm.
choice.
Thank you. One of my favorites. So,
Yeah. Well, and it shows that he's already just like, hello, like you were
yeah.
saying earlier.
Yep. And it's before like one of my favorite parts of the book, too. So, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and like you, gosh, there's so many layers to this because like not only did you do the world building, the animals and everything, like you created this. I'm trying not to mix the first and second in my head because I just read the second.
I
I'm
know.
trying to only focus on the first, but like you create these enemies and like the villains of the book basically, and they're very unique in their own way too. The second one more than the first one. They have the villains are very unique.
Yes.
But you do still have like I mean it's a different type of villain, and so that's really interesting and you I keep saying unique. I'm gonna keep it's unique.
That's okay. They are pretty unique, so
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah.
Yeah, they are. I It's funny because the first book, I'll be honest, when I was writing the first book and when I was writing the villain's name in the first book, when I was writing him, I absolutely hated him. And and as I'm writing this, I'm like, he cannot be the villain for this whole series because I can't stand this guy. Uh,
He was pretty bad.
um, yeah, I hated him so much. So, and I'm totally. I just realized you might have to cut that out because I just gave a spoiler alert with that one.
I was thinking that too.
Uh,
I was like, maybe we shouldn't.
yeah, but yeah, I actually don't. I hated him as I was writing him, and yeah, I really wanted to make a villain that was dark, and I actually had someone give me some feedback that they wanted more background on him, and like there really wasn't a whole lot as to why he was the way that he was, and how do I put this? First of all, I don't care about his background because I don't like him, and I don't want people to like him enough to want his background. But I think sometimes you just have to accept that some people are the way that they are. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So
That's
I
exactly
didn't
what I was gonna
want to,
say.
yeah, I didn't want to have to like go into detail on someone that's just the way that he is. He's
Yeah.
just a dark space.
Oh yeah. I mean, people could be raised and have like great his childhood history, and then they just one little thing happens, and they just have that in their soul that they just want to be bad. A long
Yep.
years of stuff. Yeah, that's a lot to write.
Yeah, yeah. And that wasn't the focus of my book anyways. It
Right.
was the focus was Visius and Samira, so
Yeah. Well, what I can do is just cut out the name because they were just saying that we don't like the bad guy.
yeah, that's true. I
Yeah,
could do that.
because I like that little segment. But yeah, I'll take out the name.
Okay, I trust you. Yeah, I think you'll
Okay.
do great.
At least one of us does. Um,
Hey, we're always our own worst critics, right?
oh my gosh, yes. And as an author, that's the worst. It's the worst. And that's
Yeah,
why
I
we
mean,
have beta and ARC readers.
yeah, like I wish I'd known for my first book about the beta and arc reading process
Mhm.
because I feel like not only could I have gotten like more reviews for my first book and kind of built that fan base, but like I could have some things could have been polished a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it just
absolutely.
kind of sucks I didn't know about it ahead of time, but I do now. So
Yeah.
hopefully the second one will be more polished than the first.
Yeah, I feel the same way because I had about seven published books already by the time we hopped on TikTok, and then I learned what ARC read was, and I was like, that would have been so helpful. But at the
Yep.
same time, we were coming out with Killer Within, and I was like, I just want it to be done. Like, it was supposed to come out in October. It came out in like February, and I was just like, just get it out. And after that, I regretted it. And I was like, I should have done an ARC read. We should have done something.
That's next on my list to read, by the way. I can't wait to read it. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I had mom thoughts. It's gone now. This
Yep, mom
happened.
brain, I get you. I
Oh my
got it.
gosh, insane. Okay, well, before I forget, so do you have an overall name for the series? And you might have this somewhere and I just haven't seen it yet, but like for the whole series, you have a name for it?
Yeah, the Bluebird Chronicles.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. I knew that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, not everyone may know that. So yeah,
Right.
it's the Bluebird Chronicles, and it is a trilogy series. So, um, three books, and the I'm currently rewriting the third one right now. So
So excited. And so you have the second one right now is in ARC read mode, which by the way, if anyone do you want me to promote that on here or do you just kind of letting that go?
yeah, so the ARC read's not going to start until June, but the deadline for the application is April 30th.
Okay. So we got
So
time.
yeah, definitely got time.
Yeah.
3 days.
Yes. I was gonna say, hold on, what month are we in?
Right? Yeah, it's
So
April has
get it
gone by.
in.
April has gone by so fast. But
It
yeah,
did.
so the second one, I do have an application on my website. You go into the quick links and it'll be right there. It's open until April 30th. So basically, I'm looking for ARC readers for the second book. I'm not looking for a whole lot of them. I think the number I'm kind of looking for is like around 12 or so. And the ARC read would be for June. I actually had I actually had one person message me and be like, I can't believe you're making me wait till June. And I'm like, look, I want it to be good when you guys read it. It has to go to my editor first, okay? Like, let it go to my editor first. But yeah, it's in June, and so I am doing a PR box for my ARC readers. So what that is, the first five ARC readers to finish reading my book and write a review on Amazon or Goodreads, whichever. Probably Goodreads because it's an ARC read, right? It won't be
Yeah.
out yet.
Hmm.
Um, so the first five people to write a review and read the book, they will have their name entered into a drawing to win the PR box. So what's in the PR box, you ask? Renee, just stop talking and tell me, right? So it's going to have a signed copy of my first book, signed copy of my second book, and then I'm going to purchase one book off of the winner's TBR list off of Amazon, and I'm going to include that in the PR box as well. So they will get three books.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, yeah, it is really exciting. I wanted to I'm like, it's great to have signed copies of my book, but some of my ARC readers are like, they already have signed copies of my book. So what else can I throw in there? And I was like,
Yeah.
what about a book off their TBR list?
Oh my gosh, that always gets people.
I know,
Those
I
are my
know,
most
right?
active Schmivy videos where I'm like, I'll buy one of your books. And they're like, yes, take all of my my friends.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Take all my friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's exciting. So I will actually, I'm hoping tonight that I can, because I upload these pretty quickly, because I don't want to forget. So I'll go through and edit them up and upload them as soon as I can, clip out that little second section and try to get that on TikTok as soon as possible since you have the 3-day window. Um, and yeah, I want to make sure I say that before I forget.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll get that
Yeah,
ready
no.
for you.
Yeah. No problem. I gotta make another video too. I've actually taken you can choose to cut this out if you want, but I've actually taken this past week to kind of focus more on I haven't written it all this week because I've been kind of in a writing slump. It's kind of sucked honestly because I'm like, am I meant to do this? Like, when you get in those writing slumps and
Imposter
you're like,
syndrome.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I actually I've been reading indie author books all week and today was actually the first day that I was like, well, actually last night when I wrote the 3-word art challenge, was the first time that I actually sat at my laptop and actually wrote something. So
Yeah. It
Yeah.
happens. And I was telling, I don't even know, I've been on two other podcasts and a live today, so I don't know who I talked to, but I was telling them that sometimes I found that a writer's block is the universe's way or God's way saying that to take a second, like, step back. Because usually the sentence or the scene that happens right after the writer's block is some of the best work because
Yeah.
it's kind of like a clog and like it just needs to figure it out and then come out and then it flows after that.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. I've been writing like all day today. So,
Yeah, see, there you go. You're clogged out.
yes.
It's a terrible metaphor, but you know.
Yeah, it is, but I mean I'm a nurse, so like I totally get it.
Oh no.
I totally get it.
Okay, so well, your second book. So that one is Voice of Justice?
Justice,
Okay,
justice. Yep.
make sure I wasn't the third one yet. But yes, Voice of Justice. And so that one you have slotted about July coming out?
July 4th it'll be
Okay,
out.
nice.
Yep. Yeah, so my ARC readers will get it in June and then it'll be out July 4th for everyone else to read. And that is still the sci-fi fantasy, but it also has creature thriller thrown in there as well.
Mm,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, so that one I will admit, I don't know if you care if I admit this, but I was on the beta team for that. So I have already read it. It is amazing. And quite honestly, it is I like it more than the first one, but it's not saying that the first one was bad. Like that it just built on top of it and it was so good.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
love
that
it.
you're actually Leslie said the same thing. She finished my because you and her were both beta reading,
Mm.
and when she was done with it, she's like, "That is probably better than the first book." No offense. I was like,
Well,
none taken.
and honestly, a lot of the first books have to have this foundation, and so a lot of the beginning chapters is just like the grunt work of trying to
Yep.
visualize the people and the place and everything. So it happens.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
really good.
that's really what the first book was. It's the foundation for the rest of the story, and I think that's why I'm having kind of rabbit trail here. That's why I'm having such a hard time writing the third book or rewriting it. Like I know everything that's going to happen in this book, but there is so much that I have to pack in because this is a trilogy series that I'm like, how am I going to do this that A is believable and B will keep people hooked? You know
Mm,
what I mean? And not be like this is too much for people. You know what I mean?
yes, I sadly do.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
So
You'll find the groove though. I mean, again, it could be one of those like you to stop and read the other indie author books and get sparks of in what's it called? Not inspiration.
inspiration.
Inspiration. Thank you. See,
Yeah.
we need each other's help here.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, so my second book, I guess I'll just go back and talk about it a little bit. My second book, like I said, has the creature thriller in it because I'm a huge fan of like Alien, Predator. I love The Descent, by the way. Love that movie. So I wanted to kind of throw in a little bit of angst into my stories as well. So, I actually read a book called, what is it? The Art of Fear, The Art of Writing Fear, or something like that. It was basically teaching writers how to write fear. And most of it was like based on ghost stories, but I applied some of the concepts into my second book and hopefully, it came across the page or it will once it's finally done, but we'll
Oh,
see what my editor says.
no, no, it did. At least for me.
Yeah, Leslie was
It,
like, so that was scary.
yeah, it's definitely spooky. There are a lot of moments. I'm trying not to give anything away, but there are a lot of moments I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen next. And I don't know if I'm ready for what's gonna happen next.
I think that's probably the best part about beta reading was, being an author as someone who's having beta readers, were your comments.
Hmm.
Even the good and the bad,
Yeah.
because it told me as an author where I'm doing it right and where I need to do it better, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I try to say with any reviews that I'm like, give me anything. Like if it's bad, give me because like I can't grow if I don't know. So,
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, okay, you're working on the third book right now, and once you have that finalized, do you have other book ideas, or you think you're gonna take like a pretty big break after the third one and just kind of like let that one sit for a second?
I don't know if I could do that. Uh, honestly, I don't, I can't even fathom like not writing something at this point. I actually have, you know how like George R. R. Martin, you know, the author of the Game of Thrones, you know how he now has like the House of Dragon where he went back in time to work on the ancestry, and then you have um J.R.R. Tolkien, who has multiple books outside of the Lord of the Rings series, you know, to develop the world and all of the myth and lore that goes along with his world. And then you have Brandon Sanderson, who has all of his books are basically tied into the same universe. So that's kind of what I'm thinking I want to do.
Mm.
So I have like ideas for like a spin-off novel on, you know, you can choose to cut this out if you want, but basically Mice's parents. So I want to do a novella on Misa's parents, Misa, however you pronounce her. It's up to you. So and then you know I have another spin-off book that I'm thinking of doing that is set into the future of Kania's future after Vizzius and Zamir are long gone. Um, kind of like, you know, water world type
Mm.
idea behind that. Because yeah, I just think it would be cool to get into because Leslie actually was like, I wonder what kind of monsters are in the ocean. I'm like, working on that, girl.
You're like, just hold
um,
on.
yeah, and the ocean is like one of my favorite places to go to, so it's like one of my favorite things. So that book will probably take me the longest because I'm gonna want to make sure that it's
Mm.
done right.
Right.
Um, and then I also have a prequel series about the fall of Earth that I am planning.
I was gonna say you absolutely could just blow this world, not even world, this universe up. Yeah, because there's so many things. I mean, it's a Bluebird Chronicles, so like in the beginning, very beginning of the first book, you talk about how she's been on these missions. You can even have a whole thing of the different missions she's been on already. Because I was like, what
Yeah.
kind of missions has she been on?
Yep. I thought about that as well. I'm like, you know, what if I have like little novella series of each of her missions that,
Hmm.
you know, I kind of go over with her and Nex, like Nex and Zamira Adventures, you know, I
Oh
don't
my
know,
goodness.
but
Yeah.
it, you
You were
know,
set.
so yeah. So I mean, yeah, I've thought about all of these different things that I could, so I'll be busy for quite a while, I
Yeah, that's
think.
like sounds like you're pretty set there. I would love to know about Misa's parents because they you kind of hinted at that, and I was like, I mean, I'd like to know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I hinted at it very heavily in the second book because I have a spin-off novella planned for it.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of trying to set the stage in that book for it.
you did good.
So
The stage was set.
thanks. Yeah, and I mean, um, it's hard when you're writing romance because you don't want all the romances to be the exact same, right? You
Right,
want them all to be different, you know? So it's kind of like, okay, what romance is it going to be this time? And
right.
so it's,
You were on Mama D's
yeah.
Live, so you heard about the Atlantic bookstore, that the romance bookstore she was talking about.
Yes, shelf love.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. As I say, I thought of that, and then I was like, no, she's on that same live, but they're looking for romance books. So,
Yeah, no, I actually sent 5 books.
oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So for consignment. So yeah, I'm already in there,
There
which
you
I'm
go.
really thankful for. It's kind of exciting. I wish I could visit the store and see it, but
Yeah,
it's all good.
it happened. But we do have about 6 minutes left because we were just having a great deal of time there. So we'll jump into actually before we do artworks because I want to make sure that we say where they can find your socials and your books. I will have everything linked below as much as I can find. And uh, your books are, well, your book is available. The first one is A Voice of Love on the Zon, Amazon. Those words were hard for a second.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
you're active. I know you're active on TikTok, but are you active on Facebook and Instagram as well, or Blue Sky?
So no Facebook. That's my personal account. Instagram, I just signed up for. Again, I deleted it because I hate Instagram. It's like a cemetery on there for books. But I signed up for again just because TikTok has been so like we don't know what's going to happen to it. So I was like, well, I should probably have a backup plan. That's smart, right? And then I have my website, but I also sell signed copies on my Etsy store, which I think is probably pretty important to say too.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good call.
Yeah, because I had to say goodbye to TikTok Shop because, well,
Yes,
So,
there's a lot. Well, let's jump into the artwork. So I have this cute little segment where I ask people for three random words, and then I give it to the podcasters, and I say, do whatever art thing you want with these. So your words, I believe, were impervious, baklava, and lava. I think that's what it was. Whenever you're ready.
yes, it was. I was like, you said it, your words were, I believe. I'm like, oh gosh, I hope she gave me the right words.
Yeah, I say I had to move a bunch of words around, so I don't know where they all went.
Yeah, no, no, those are the words that
Okay.
she gave me, so it's all good. So I'm not gonna win an Oscar award for like best accent, but I am going to do the best that I can um at this. So I wrote a short story. It's called Through the Perspective of a Dessert. And I changed eyes to perspective because desserts don't have eyes. All right. Greetings, fair guest. You can call this a letter or a short story. It is entirely up to you. But take heed, because I am about to open your eyes to my world, the realm of dessert. As I sit on my display platter and await to be chosen, you shall consort with me as I ponder my short existence and those on exhibit around me. What existence, you ask? Ah, I am all too happy to oblige with an answer. You see, I am the delicacy of the dessert world. Some see me as a snob or imperious, but I am simply divine. Some like me for my flaky crust and nutty filling, but I pack a tasty punch with every bite. Baklava is my name, and I wear the crown in this realm. Unlike the fickle nature of my neighbor, who is quite overcome and bubbling over like hot lava as we speak, I am diverse in that I can be consumed at room temperature, cold, and even warm. 'Tis simply depends on the taste buds of the connoisseur. Yes, I am referring to you. I sit here watching others, like yourself, peruse around, hunting for their preferred treat, and here I sit, with bated breath in hopes that I will finally be favored. You look shocked at my desire to be eaten, but it is every dessert's deepest hope to be enjoyed because this is what we were created for, our purpose. Unlike my Italian friend across the room, who was just spat out like some rejected fiend, how undignified. I would be remiss if I didn't shed but one flaky layer. But he was taunting me earlier, so need I say, his end is quite fitting. Perhaps too much salt added before bacon? Oh, how exciting! A patron is approaching with that look. You know the very one I speak of. A glint of hunger, wanting to satisfy their sweet tooth. Well, will I be savory enough for their taste, or will they prefer the molten lava cake to my right, who, might I add, is still bubbling over? If I had eyes, I would roll them at the show of histrionics. But alas, my time has come, and the anticipation is positively titillating. It is an honor to be selected, to fulfill one's destiny, and provide satisfaction to my fair consumer. As I am now being lifted off my display, I bid thee farewell, and may you remember me next time you dine on the crown of the dessert world. Sincerely, the divinely imperious baklava.
Are you kidding? Not an Oscar? That's what? I gave you very complicated words and you gave me a full story. What? This is
Well, I was like, I don't
amazing.
know if it's a letter or a story, but whatever.
Yes.
Yeah,
All the above. This is so cool.
yeah,
I've done two others of these today, and you all have just blown my mind with this. I love picking the creative minds of authors. This is so fun. That was
right?
so good. We do have a minute
Yeah.
before it actually just like yeets us out of here. Like it'll just stop. Before we do get yeeted off here, I just want to make sure I say that thank you so much for being here, and this is really fun, and I would absolutely love to have you on again to talk about your second
Yeah,
book or anything else. I don't have a genre for this, so we could come on here and just talk about anything.
yeah, sounds good. I
Yeah.
love that.
And see, now it is less than a minute. Like I don't know how much time that is. You just give me the seconds. What happened to my seconds?
Well, if it eats us off, bye.